beauty of being an entrepreneur is you create your way. There's not a set formula that's given to you to just do things, right? It is all because of opportunities, struggles, or challenges that I encountered as I experienced life, and my passion to want to find a way to resolve those problems. That's how our mission for Lin Realty all came about. I was born in Fujian, China, in a rural town, the hometown village. I lived there for the first 7 years of my life, and there's no running water, there's no functioning toilets. And my mom had to start hiding when she was maybe 4 months pregnant with me. She started hiding in this little closet, and that's her environment from 4 months of pregnancy all the way till birth, to try to avoid the government agency under the one-child policy. And that's how I was born. And the same way that my younger sister was born. So she had 3 girls. And when I was born, she noticed that my legs were really stubby. So she's like, she's gonna be short. And then I think it's because of my petite figure. She didn't think that I was going to be able to amount to anything. That's always been how I was conditioned growing up, right? My parents found this opportunity to move to the States. My dad, he started a restaurant business, and then he was able to get my mom over to the States, and they had a little restaurant business. And it was doing really well. That's how they were able to sponsor us to move us to the States. So at age 13, my sisters and I moved to Palm Bay, Florida. It was such a culture shock because I didn't speak any English. We lived in this rundown house with restaurant workers. 20 employees just all lived under one roof. There were cockroaches everywhere. It was just unbelievable. Like, as a teenager, I dreamed of somehow was able to get back to China, like every day for the first year of my life in the States. I was just confused and not sure what to make of it. So there was a lot of adjustment over the first year, and I think that really helped to grow the characteristics that I have today. It's always about finding a way to make the best of the situation. After high school, my mom wanted to venture to Los Angeles. I was rebellious at the time. I wanted to stay in Florida. I wanted to have my own life, but I couldn't afford it. So then, reluctantly, I moved to California with my mom. And I worked at her restaurant for another year because she had a plan for me. And her plan was for me to take over her restaurant business. And I didn't want any of it. Not that I wasn't grateful for the opportunity. I said, no, I'm creating my life. I'm forming my way. My goal was to get into USC because of the business program that I heard it was really good. And fortunately, early on, I recognized, and this is something that I always got praised on. My parents, my relatives, everyone said I was a very hardworking person. And I knew that, okay, if I'm a hardworking person, then that's what I have going for me. So I will do things extra hard. And even in college, if one job is enough to pay for the tuition, I'll get 3 jobs. I was tutoring, worked in the financial aid office, and worked in the restaurant as a server, just, to earn tips. And that's always been the mentality that I had, and I didn't really know what I was going to do. I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur like my mom, but I didn't know what. And I had this tremendous amount of fear in me because I was like, what if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not smart enough to even have a business like my mom? Fortunately, at that time, Redfin just started out in Los Angeles, and they were looking for a field rep to help show houses. And they were paying really good money. And I'm like, sign me up. And I was hustling. First year, I showed over 500 houses. And by showing all the different houses, I got really good at looking at different characteristics of the house. As soon as I walk in a home, I can tell if the house has any foundation issues, if there are any plumbing issues. Because I've been into so many houses and I attended all those inspections. So I learned directly from the inspectors. I was with Redfin for I want to say 3 years. And that's when I said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go out on my own. So that's when I decided to form my own entity. A bigger reason that I was able to make that big leap was because Joe, my boyfriend at the time, he said, I would join you. He would quit his job and be my partner. That meant the whole world to me. So I formed my own entity, and my first deal was with this client. I was so grateful that he believed in me. And then the next person, same thing. I think it's because they saw this fire in me that I just have so much to prove to the world that I'm capable, that I can do this. And just, one deal after another. The first year that I was on my own, I did 18 transactions. 18 transactions of just pure strangers who saw me and who's like, yeah, I think she can do this. And then the next year, that sale doubled. And the clients, they were in it with me to try. And I was doing open houses every weekend, like 5 hours per day. That was the kind of open houses I did. I wanted to take care of them. I wanted to do everything within my power to conquer the world for them. It's because I never had that. It's unbelievable how much stress one goes through when selling or buying, because there's so much unknown. It's just hanging above you. You can't go anywhere until this chapter is closed or opened. And I think at some subconscious level, there's some kind of correlation to not have someone else go through that kind of uncertainty, that kind of anxiety, the strange environment or the not knowing that I went through as a teenager for the first year of my life in the States. And I think it motivated me to not want anyone else to have to go through that like I did. When we crafted a mission statement. The mission statement at the time was, we're okay doing less deals, but we want to take care of the family. That's the first and foremost core value. Everything else comes after that, including our commission. Once we had that in place, it gave us purpose. And now we're about taking care of family. Our expectations grew. Our expectations of our service grew. Our ability to take care of our clients also grew. That means we needed more effective people to help us. And that's how our team started to grow. I have an incredible army of support staff to ensure that our clients are taken care of. We want to do more. We want to get better to take even better care of our clients. So we realized that's our unique proposition is our clients felt so cared for, and we want to do more, and we're excited to do more.